Here's a question. When you walk into a dealership today and you see a price tag of $70,000, $80,000 on a new SUV, what do you actually get? You get a brand name, you get a badge, and you get plastic that looks suspiciously similar to what they used 10 years ago. It's comfortable, it's familiar, but does it feel like the future? Now look at what's happening on the other side of the world. Quietly, without much attention from the Western media, a group of car companies in China have been doing something interesting. They stopped copying, they started building. And today, we're looking at 3 cars that aren't officially sold in the US. But they represent a shift in how the world thinks about luxury, about technology, and about value. This is the BYD Ceylon 7, the Zeekr 7X, and the Avatar 11. 3 electric SUVs, 3 different approaches to what a premium car should be in 2026. Let's take a closer look. First up, BYD Ceylon 7. The name is unusual. Ceylon. It sounds like something from a nature documentary. But the car itself, it's designed to compete with the Porsche Cayenne Coupe, and visually it holds its own. Look at the silhouette, that sloping roofline, the muscular rear fenders. BYD has been hiring top designers from Germany and Italy, and it shows. This isn't a copy, it's an original interpretation of what a sporty family SUV should look like. Now, let's go inside. Here's where things get interesting. The materials, soft surfaces, contrast stitching, seats that look and feel supportive. And then there's the screen. The rotating screen. It's a signature BYD feature. It switches from landscape to portrait orientation with the press of a button. Why? Because sometimes you want the navigation big and wide, and sometimes you want to scroll through your music library in portrait mode. It's a small detail, but it shows a different way of thinking. Underneath, the Ceylon 7 is built on BYD's latest platform. In its top configuration, it offers all-wheel drive and enough power to accelerate from 0 to 60 in around 4.5 seconds. That's serious performance for a family car. The price in China starts around the equivalent of $35,000. For that money, you get a level of technology and interior quality that would cost significantly more from a European brand. Is it perfect? Probably not. Brand recognition takes time to build. But as a product, it makes you wonder what we're actually paying for when we buy luxury badges. Next, Zeekr 7X. Zeekr is a brand from Geely, and Geely owns Volvo, Lotus, and has partnerships across the industry. So when you look at a Zeekr, you're looking at a car built with access to serious engineering resources. The 7X is an SUV designed for families, but it's a premium family SUV. The front end is distinctive with a full-width LED light bar that wraps around the hood. It's modern, clean, and recognizable. Inside, the focus is on space and comfort. The rear seats are particularly well equipped. In higher trims, passengers get their own screens, their own climate controls, and power adjustments. It's the kind of attention to detail you'd expect in a much more expensive vehicle. Technically, the Zeekr 7X uses an 800-volt architecture. In practical terms, that means very fast charging, from 10% to 80% in around 15 minutes. For road trips, that's a game changer. You stop for a coffee, and by the time you're done, the car is ready to go. Performance versions offer around 600 horsepower. That's more than most people will ever need, but it's there if you want it. The Zeekr 7X represents a different philosophy. Instead of charging a premium for every additional feature, they include a lot as standard. It's a value proposition that's hard to ignore. And finally, Avatar 11. Avatar is a collaboration between Changan, Huawei, and CATL, 3 major players. Changan builds the car. Huawei provides the operating system and the driving assistance technology. CATL supplies the batteries. It's a joint venture that brings together different areas of expertise. The design of the Avatar 11 is distinctive. The headlights are narrow, almost hidden. The rear is dominated by a full-width light bar that creates a striking visual signature. It doesn't look like anything else on the road. Inside, the dashboard is dominated by one long screen that stretches from pillar to pillar. It houses the instrument cluster, the infotainment, and the passenger display. Below that, the center console is clean and minimal. There's a rotary dial for controls, finished with a crystal-like detail. It feels modern, airy, and tech-focused. The technology from Huawei deserves attention. The driving assistance system is designed for complex urban environments. It handles highways, city streets, and parking with a high degree of autonomy. It's one of the most advanced systems currently available in a production car. Performance is strong. All-wheel drive, 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds in the top version. It's quick, very quick. The Avatar 11 is for someone who wants to look forward, not back. It's not trying to be a traditional luxury car. It's trying to redefine what luxury means in the electric era, and it makes a compelling argument. So, what's the takeaway? The Chinese automotive industry has changed. 10 years ago, the focus was on volume and low cost. Today, companies like BYD, Zeekr, and Avatar are competing on design, technology, and quality. They're building cars that offer a different kind of value. Instead of charging extra for premium features, they include them as standard. Instead of sticking to traditional design languages, they're exploring new directions. Why aren't these cars widely available in the US? Trade policies, tariffs, and the time it takes to build a distribution network. It's complicated, but the products themselves are worth paying attention to. The gap between what established luxury brands offer and what these newer brands offer is narrowing fast. In the coming years, the choices available to consumers will likely expand. And when that happens, cars like the Celian 7, the Zeekr 7X, and the Avatar 11 will be part of the conversation. They're not just alternatives. They're a sign of where the industry is heading. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching. If you found this interesting, consider subscribing. More to come.